Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. And welcome back, everybody, to
It's that show.
I'm Bishop.
I'm Rooster. And today we have a Mayday! Mayday! Baby inbound!
Oh my God.
God, end of the world.
That would be the end of the world
Oh
for you.
my God. I can't imagine. I'm 24. I can't imagine having a baby. I could not. Mentally, physically, how the fuck am I supposed to support a child, a life?
Oh, the world is crazy.
Impossible.
Right now. The world is crazy.
That's like a really big thing in my mind too, is I'm like, I don't know what kind of world I'm bringing a fucking baby into if I have a baby, you know? It's like, by the time he's fucking 20...
It might be a girl.
Don't remind me of that. That's worst case scenario. No thank you.
Oh my God. I mean,
realistically, I wouldn't give a fuck. If that's what makes him happy, then or her happy, whatever they got to do. Then.
But what we were talking about earlier is like, look how crazy the world is. Like all the crazy shit that's going on in the world, and not just the world, but just in our own country.
Yeah.
Right, and then you start narrowing it down to the region in our own state. Right, like there's some shit going on, people, and I mean, you know, I don't talk about it much. But I've got kids, and it has been a roller coaster. This shit is like, there's no manual for this shit. Right? I don't care how many books somebody reads and how prepared you think you are. Throw that shit right out the window. I mean, because none of that applies.
Right.
I mean, every kid is different.
And the world is changing so fast. It's like, how was supposed to, like, my parents couldn't teach me how to grow up in a digital age with technology with unlimited access to information, with... You know, it was like, my generation had a totally different growing up experience, and that's what molds me to think, like, my kids are going to be fucking way beyond me.
I don't know, dude. Well, yeah, because if you think of it in that sense, because the integration is only getting more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally to the point now where it's almost a requirement. Like, if you didn't live in a place where you were living in an I mean, extreme or remote region, you're just inundated. I mean, you're just totally immersed in it from day one. You don't even know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know it.
Right.
And I mean, I ask kids your age, and I'm like, do you know what the Dewey Decimal System is? And they go, what?
Huh?
Dewey?
Who's Dewey?
Do I buy that at the dispensary? Is that a rewards point system I'm not getting?
No, I remember Dewey. They taught us Dewey in like first grade or kindergarten or something, because we would walk through the library. We were like, this is the AAA section.
Is that before they, you know, wrapped that all up into tablets?
Yeah. Yes. Right. Seriously though, because you probably don't know this. Literally, my middle school went from like the poorest school in our town to an I-school. Apple had sponsored our school when I was in middle school and gave us all iPads, and we used them to do fucking everything, including goof around and take over the teachers' projectors while they're giving presentations and draw dicks on them and shit.
Oh, could you imagine that? Oh my God. Oh my God.
They didn't have the kinks worked out in the first year. So
I mean, we thought we were. I mean, when I was a kid, we thought we were hot shit when we took we would adjust the casters on the teacher's chair so that he or she, when they sat in it, all the casters would just come out and their chair would fall. And you guys are literally hacking the school system.
Right. Right? Seriously. After it, we would write something like, "This is Conrad," or whatever. This kid that was always picking on us and shit in school. And then, so that day, Conrad gets called down to the office, and we're all just fucking dying laughing, and they're like, "Why are you drawing dicks and fucking taking over teachers' presentations?" It was so funny. He was like, "I had no idea what you're talking about," but he was telling us about it after. Hilarious.
You know, we've talked about the actual trend, not just within our own country, but as a world population, that we're on a downtrend for birth rates, and any child. You know, a child has no choice of being born, right?
None of us do.
That was to hopefully grown-ups that we're making some sort of decision. And and every day there's kids that just have no choice, and they're brought into the world. But every child deserves love, but the world is so fragmented now. Is that what definition of love are you raising this child on? Because love or nurturing and setting ideals, it used to mean something different,
right?
And now I look at some of these people, and they raise these kids and they teach them that no, your emotions are always right. You go with your emotions and we'll work around it. Like, no. I grew up in a time where I get my ass beat.
Right.
I mean, if I backtalked, if I sassed anybody, I mean, it could have been a stranger. I mean, I'll be quite honest. I grew up in a time where people weren't afraid to backhand somebody else's kid.
A stranger would smack you?
Yes.
Holy shit. You do that
What are you
nowadays,
talking
you'd be
about?
in fucking prison. Jesus.
What are you talking about? But not anymore. Not anymore, man. You can't even look at a kid weird. Right? And that's really the bad thing. Is like, look at what they're teaching everybody about self-identification. Not only just personally, but in a sexual sense, right? Like as in a sex sense. Like,
right.
Are you a boy? Are you a girl? Or are you a turtle?
Are you a turtle? All three viable options. And then if none of those three, then we go into second category. Fish, horse. Kids are so confused. Like, what the?
Wait a minute.
I'm pretty sure I'm a boy.
I mean, I don't even know how they do sex ed anymore.
Yeah.
Have you even thought about that? Like, how do they even approach it? I know they get younger and younger every year. Like, I've heard horror stories.
Younger?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've heard horror stories of 4th graders being brought into sex ed.
Wow.
And I'm like, 4th grade?
That's crazy.
I mean, they're barely out of eating their boogers.
Right?
They're barely putting the paste down, right?
Wow.
And you're talking to them
That's
about
crazy.
the birds and the bees?
Yeah.
Oh,
For us
man.
in 5th grade, they brought us all into a room. They separated us, boys and girls, in 2 classrooms, and we each had to talk about like puberty, and we're gonna start growing hair. That type of shit. They told us, oh yeah, you're gonna grow hair, and then like this is what's gonna happen to you physiologically and shit. And then they gave us each a stick of deodorant. And they were like, there you go, that's your lesson. And then the next thing I learned.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Right?
I'm supposed to rub this on
this?
all sweaty parts?
This isn't gonna last very long.
No wonder they sell baby powder and monkey butt shit all the time.
Yeah, but then freshman year was my sex ed regular stuff, obviously. So
Well, was that actually with a teacher, or did you find that out on your own?
a little bit of both, actually.
Did you go, hey, that's kind of nice.
What are you doing looking at me all day for? Come on.
Why are you squinting?
Yeah, but I mean, sex ed wasn't even like. I mean, yeah, for the first lesson they were like, yeah, so you stick your penis in the vagina and you have a baby, yeah. And then the rest of the fucking whole year was gonorrhea, syphilis. If you have sex, this is what you're getting. There's no way around it.
You'll be blind, your fingers and appendages will fall off, and your skin will turn green.
Yeah.
And you'll be wearing diapers for the rest of your life.
Seriously, though, the pictures that they showed us in that class are still haunting my mind.
I still want to know, because I mean, we had something similar to that, but we didn't have that until when I was growing up, like freshman, sophomore year, and they really got serious about it. But when they show you those slides, like, who in their right mind would let somebody else take a picture of that and say, yeah, you can make a poster of that?
You know what? Use this to educate the next generation.
Because, I put it off for 2 years, and it literally affected my life permanently. I mean, permanently. I mean, that's...
Yep. I want millions of kids between the ages of 12 and 15 to see this, you know?
My genitalia need to be displayed everywhere.
Jesus.
But kids are, they're so precious. They're so precious. They,
precious.
And they I mean, for me, when I see a bunch of kids running around playing a soccer game, baseball game, whatever, football, which is the cutest shit in the world, because they just look like little bees, like running around, and they don't have any damn clue what the hell they're doing. And But they're just so awesome because you have, as a parent, you have an opportunity to really try and show that child the thing. Well, one, you don't want them to do the same shit you did. That's for damn sure. Because let me tell you, they're going to figure it out anyways. They're gonna show you the same shit, just a different way.
Like, you sly motherfucker.
But at the same time, you get to help build a mind. That's what's cool.
That's probably the coolest experience of it all, is literally like molding a person. With everything you say and everything you do and you show him, you can see him learning about it. And that's got to be an incredible experience.
It is. And then sometimes it's a fucking nightmare. Because you're like, that's not what I meant. It's not. You misinterpreted that whole conversation. Where did you get this from? I did not tell you to do this. Yes, you did. No, I did not. Let's rewind. This is not okay.
He calls a kid in his class a motherfucker. You're like, where'd you hear that from?
You. Remember the guy who cut you off the other day?
Son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm supposed to use that one too? No! But I look at it like this. If the world really is on a decline for population, right? The kids that are brought in now, they're so inundated in such a crazy environment that it is the hardest job, to encourage somebody to bring a child into the world, right? Because I had it rough. Your parents had it rough. The people before them had it rough. And it seems like every generation, it gets harder and harder and harder because there is such a vast option and array of things that a child, he or she, can absorb in life. And you just got to go, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this.
Right.
And that's after the kid is here.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
Right. 2 years of crying and sleepless nights. You're like,
been there, done that.
Where's the receipt for this? Do you know where you put this?
Who do we return this to? Because it's got to go back. Just the sheer enormity of it and the responsibility, because that's the one thing I have young friends not much older than you that have started families, and they ask me what are some key tips and things that I can teach them, and I'm like, there is no script. In fact, that used to be a gag gift I would give everybody is the parenting plan, or parenting was a super parenting handbook, right? And it was a big ass thick book, and I mean big, right? Like 300 pages thick, like it's huge. And then it came with a pen. And then you open it up, and it's got a nice preface, and it's got a nice little poem, right? And then I would write something in there, congratulations, and I hope your journey is beautiful and amazing. And then you flip to the next page, and it's fucking empty. The rest of the fucking pages are empty, and I'm like, there's a reason I gave you a pen. Because when you're done, I want to read it. I want to compare notes.
Jesus. So scary, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine. Yeah, there are people, I know people from my school, all kinds of stuff, who are 4, 5 years younger than me.
Oh, my God.
Having babies. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, and the great thing about being a grandparent is that not only did you learn everything by raising your children, you can kind of fill in the gaps for your children, right?
Yeah.
To help them along. But you also know when the right point is to spoil the absolute fuck out of them, to really fuck your own kids over and go, no, you can have them back. See, this one's not mine.
I'm just gonna feed him candy all day and then send it back to you.
This one is not mine. You deal with it. But nope, you can have them back. Have them back. They're yours. Let me know how it goes. See you next week.
See you next week for my 2 hours. Right? That sounds like the life. Getting to enjoy the baby a little bit without the full-blown sleepless nights. And
then when you get to be like the pseudo aunt or uncle in a family unit, because I have friends like that, and I love it, because I'm like, oh yeah, you just wait. When he or she comes home, you're totally screwed. But Uncle B told me, no, we're not doing that in this house. I've got I got a niece that I love her to death, and she's kind of been the daughter I didn't have, raising my kids up, and she's amazing. And but I'll tell you that I taught her a little too much, I think, in some ways, because she's a badass.
Really?
And I feel for the dude that she's with, because he goes too far. It's not going to end well.
She smacks him around.
It's not going to go well. It's not going to be pretty. She'll stay pretty, but you, on the other hand, you're going to have an issue.
Jesus. Babies are scary, man. I don't know. I still am not convinced that I'm ever going to, like, have one. I know I will, though, in the back of my mind, but at the very front of my mind, I know I'm nowhere close to ready. I'm like...
Well, I think as we wrap it up today, I want to give a very special shout out to Hal and Erica. Congratulations on the new grandbaby. By the time you see this, that little baby boy will be around, and hopefully that little baby gives you a little grandbaby gives you a lot of enjoyment and happiness. But
and terror.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Get ready to relive those moments that you thought were so long far forgotten. But unless the next round's on you, we gotta go. Cheers.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.